Good morning, everybody. Let's have a little look at these charts then, shall we, on the new HyperTrader. I want my old HyperTrader back. I just liked it better because I'm resistant to change. It probably was worse than this, but I just like the fact that it was an app. Bring it back. Bring it back. Anyway, let's get started. Oh, and before we do, actually, it's the beginning of the month. If you want to join the Patreon, it's always better to start at the beginning of the month. Links in the description below. We're doing live streams twice a week. Next one being tomorrow night. Right, let's have a look at Bitcoin here on the 4 hourly. So, looks like yesterday was absolutely as expected. We moved up and moved back down again. So the trend is one of a downtrend. That golden cross didn't form, so anyone who wanted to try and front run that golden cross has been wrecked now, absolutely wrecked, which is what I was saying yesterday. Said, look, if we start to get a golden cross and then we come down to retest it, okay, maybe we can think about this trend reversing, at least just on the 4 hourly, which to be fair would be pretty sweet because 4 hourlies moved to dailies, which moved to weeklies, which moved to monthlies, and so on. The problem is that with all of that, the weekly still has a lot to correct. And to be fair with you, I haven't even shown you this, but the monthly also needs to correct as well. We've got a money flow index on the monthly, which is the highest it's been in since the top really. We've got a money flow index read of 91.6. It's a lot. 2018 bubble pop 98. 2021 April 94. For some bloody strange reason, we've got February 24 at 91. So, could mean one or two things. We either go up higher and absolutely pop, causing a much larger consolidation, one basically in tune with a bear market, or we just consolidate normally and give it a bit of time like I expect. So recognize what I'm saying, right? The day-to-day, you can trade, right? It's possible to trade. I am still doing little trades here and there. I've got my bear market bots, I'm calling them, but down token bots on Pionex. I've got those going on at the moment. They could have easily been a successful long taken place yesterday. I absolutely did not do it because my preference is still one of downtrend over a prolonged period of time. So I think there's more money to be had in a downtrend than there is in an uptrend at this exact moment, to be fair. But it doesn't mean you can't see some nice little bounces. Now, because HyperTrader is basically wiped and started afresh, I've not got any trend lines in, but sometimes that can be a blessing in disguise, starting a pure fresh. There's one thing I'd really like to do, actually, which would be to change this to a bright pink and fatten up the lines. So there we go, back to our old usual self. So right, the Bollinger Band itself here sits comfortably on the daily at 41,784. Where did we come down to? 41,884. Okay, so front run that a little bit. So actually picking up on the 7 simple actually, and the 50 exponential. So a lot of support really, still below us on this daily. Bollinger Bands are starting to pinch a little bit, really not much at all though. And I'm still looking for this to head its way further down and down and down. So this 3 days in a row we've closed lower, each time finding a rejection from a lower area too. So it just looks like it needs to give up the game and start this consolidation. Breaking down below that Bollinger Band on the daily would certainly start the ball rolling, taking us down into the upper 30s, where we might even stay down at the upper 30s for a little while, to be fair. Now, back to this 4 hourly, the famous 4 hourly. We've got the golden cross, which never formed, obviously. This is all basically part of the death cross, which was confirmed over here. We're now below it, so we supported on it, had our first opportunity to bounce. Again, this is people trying to front run that golden cross, which hadn't happened. We lost it, turned to resistance. Presumably will be resistance again at this level now. And if that's the case, then we'll lose this area, and then the downtrend will start to pick up pace over the coming weeks based on the 4 hourly. And again, losing that area on the which is basically the Bollinger Band bottom here, which is the equivalent of the center band on the daily. Losing that again will pick up pace on the daily, and before you know it, we will have a bit more of an obvious downtrend. I mean, to me, this is the lower high. That's why I made the video about the lower high 3 days ago, saying this is a lower high. I believe it to be a lower high. That's why I started those downtrend bots. Kicking myself that I didn't start them when I sold everything over here, but I didn't. So, the lower high is the next area to try it from. So they're still in play. They're doing okay, and like I said on the videos, my expectation is to have at least one of them play out for the duration of this downtrend, which in my opinion is going to take several months to complete. So that would be good. And the other two, I'm intending obviously on closing those at significant profits. So based on the daily, yeah, we've got the $38,000 zone, which is a rough area that corresponds to roughly this kind of area around here, the breakout zone. That's probably the next major destination. In fact, let's start drawing in some trend lines again, shall we? Just to make things a bit clearer. We don't want it to be blue. We'd like it to be white. So it stands right out. In fact, now it's starting afresh. Maybe we can move away from the boring colours. We can start doing some serious colouring of trend lines. But for the moment, we'll keep it white. So that's the next destination. Losing this area, probably, you know, like I say, it can pick up pace quite quickly. But as soon as we start closing below, we'll call it 41,600, because that'll be a candle body closure below. I'm not talking wicks on this daily. Wicks get bought up. Wicks don't mean a great deal. We're talking candle body closures below that area. This is the next destination. Then we will be seeing these two, which are currently at 34,000 and 36,000 basically. So nothing has changed at all in the overall dynamics of this trend. I believe that the next lower high has already been set, so we should be looking for a lower low at this point, based on a daily, which can obviously take a couple of weeks. Could even happen today, but you know, time is not the important component. Now, looking over here at the Dixie, different story, and I know you all hate me to make these videos last longer than expected, but yesterday, Central Bank, Federal Reserve, paused rates exactly as expected, and as a result, we saw a shock in the market, which was down and then up, and then basically, you know, above the trend line. We also hit the 200 exponential, which is a portion of a golden cross retest on the 4 hourly. So this one is now above a trend line, hit a major support, and to be fair, it looks like this is where we want to go now. We want to go up. On the daily, we just want to break above the 200 exponential. Now, again, you know, I'm not sold in either direction on this one personally, but if I had to choose, I would expect this daily resistance to break. And with that will come a bit further up on the Dixie, which should correspond to down on everybody else, which is kind of what we got yesterday. Down there, closed down yesterday. Everything will have closed down yesterday, I expect. There's no point in going through absolutely everything that closed down, but it will have done. Nasty over there on NASDAQ. Dow Jones Industrial Average down. So everything's down basically. So it's all going down. Everything's down. Allow for down. Down is normal. We've been going up for a long period of time, and down is absolutely perfectly acceptable, and it's what I expect. Doesn't mean it's going to come straight down, but down. So no change in the market really. Now we've got that FOMC out the way, and it did exactly what we expected. Now we should just allow for further downside to continue. Right, that's basically it. Doesn't mean there's not going to be some serious bounces coming down the line, but right this very moment in time, I would expect just the trend to continue and eventually, at some point relatively soon, create a lower low on this daily. And it's at this point here, this $38,000 zone, roughly around here, where I might consider a serious buy for what could be a serious bounce. Let's just say it happened today. The bounce on Bitcoin back up to the Bollinger Band, or should we even just say all the moving averages, would be a 10% bounce on Bitcoin on its own. So there is definitely opportunity for spot bids and longs later on, but not right now. Not right now. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching. Patreon, Telegram, Discord, Twitter, subscribe, like, everything. It's all in front of you right now if you want to take advantage of those sort of things. Otherwise, just have a nice day. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.